Well, so after 2 days of deliberations, former President Trump was found guilty in the kangaroo court on all 34 counts in this historic and unprecedented and stupid criminal trial, making him the first president, or former president of the United States, to be convicted of a crime. And the internet is abuzz. Michael Savage, host of Savage Nation, has a lot to say about this. He joins me now. Sir, this is crazy, the extent they're going to.
Carl, thanks for having me. I call it a death by 1,000 slashes, known as 1,000 cuts. It's an ancient Chinese form of slow death, slow slicing. They didn't just kill the man by cutting his head off. There's a long article today in Breitbart that I was interviewed by Josh Klein about this. It was called Ling Chi, only outlawed in 1904, by the way, in China, where if they wanted to make an example of someone in a public spectacle, sound familiar? They didn't just execute the person. In order to scare the population, they cut the person 1,000 different ways, beginning with non-lethal areas of the body, which would produce the most pain and the least amount of blood. And they wanted the people to watch this person suffer. Now, I realize they're not cutting Trump literally, but you have to admit they're cutting him figuratively. 1,000 slashes. How many trials, how many insults, how many attacks can any one man take? And I don't know how much he can take. They're doing it to Trump. They're killing him by 1,000 slashes. And a man can only take so much until he eventually bleeds to death. I hope he doesn't. But let's look at all of the issues without going into a long, encyclopedia.
Mike, let me stop you. They haven't gotten him yet. To what extent do you think they would go?
Well, me personally, they're evaluating just how far they can go. You say, I heard your last guest. I love Judge Knapp. I disagree with him because they're not going to follow the law. They haven't so far. Why should they begin on the sentencing?
Yep.
That's number one. Number two, people should remember, they incarcerated Martha Stewart on a very minor charge. She was put in jail.
Right.
Was she a threat to society? Was she likely to flee? Did she pose a threat to anybody? No. They put her in jail to send a message, God knows to whom. New York is a very corrupt place, and the judicial system is more corrupt than the place itself, run by the worst people in America. Anyone who winds up running that system may as well have been in Manchurian China at the time, or Manchu China, excuse me, because I do believe they could do it, and I think they're evaluating right now what the benefits versus the risks are to incarcerating Trump. They don't care what the public thinks of them. No. All they're going to analyze is, do they benefit from it for the collapsing candidate that they have, or do they not benefit from it? That's all they will think about. But what worries me the most is that if they do get him in jail without the Secret Service agents, I'm sorry, I do play out the worst possible scenario as a possibility running through the minds of some of these demons in the Democrat Party, Carl. It's not beyond them.
Wow. I mean, it's just
one man's opinion.
Yeah, no, it's crazy that we're even having this conversation, but we have to have it. I mean, it's insane. Now, Trump has obviously called for the Supreme Court to intervene in this case before he's sentenced. He's going to be sentenced like 4 days before the Republican National Convention. I believe that I never would have thought I'd say this, but I think they're probably going to try to throw him in jail for at least long enough to keep him off the campaign trail.
That makes sense, too. That's if he survives jail. That's number two. Now, people don't understand this. They want a mugshot of him in an orange jumpsuit. Remember they were posting that years ago?
Yeah.
You know what they do when they put you in jail? No hair products, no makeup. They want him to be looking like a dehumanized Soviet prisoner in the Gulag, so they can then run that against the truly debilitated candidate on the other side of the aisle.